Hi, I'm Angela from empoweredcrystals.com and I make healing crystal jewellery. Today I'm going to be doing a reading for all you Capricorns out there for the winter period, and that will cover December, January and February. I'll be using these crystal grid oracle cards and these crystal power tarot pack. If that's the type of video that you do like to see, please do click the like and subscribe below. And if you want to see any of my jewellery, please do pop over to empoweredcrystals.com and have a browse. Thanks very much. Now, I've pre-picked the cards so I could get all the crystals out. So we have the Nine of Swords, I trust in the present moment. And we have the Ten of Swords. I promise I did shuffle the pack, but it just happens that these two went together. I see truth in this ending. And we have Sugilite, a little bit of raw Sugilite to present both of those. We have Compassion, and I've got a bit of Aquamarine for that. We have Nature's Cycles, and I've got a bit of Malachite for that. And finally, Communication, and I have Lapis for that one. So I'm not going to lie to you, I'm going to be honest, this is not a great reading for this time period. It's going to be a lot of upheaval, but hopefully for the better. So let's get into it. So the first one I have is the Nine of Swords, and I trust in the present moment. And this is all about stress, anxiety, being overwhelmed. The classical meaning of this card is disturbance of peace. So it can also represent insomnia, nightmares, anything that disturbs the peace. So you've really been going through it at the moment, having a lot of stress. Obviously, this is general reading, so not all of you will be suffering from this, but some of you will be. And this is not been a great period for you. You're really feel very out of balance, very stressed, and just things are really getting on top of you. It also represents worrying about things and overthinking things. So things are being going around and round in your mind again and again. So it's really a stressful period for you. Now I'm going to bring this card in because it's sort of related. I mean, obviously they're both swords and they're both next to each other, so sort of what you'd expect. And this is the Ten of Swords. I see truth in this ending, and this is all about sudden endings, sudden loss, end of a relationship, end of a job, end of anything, maybe a project at work, an ending. It's basically unexpected ending of something, and it seems very sudden to you. But if you think about it, it may not have been that sudden. If you actually look over things, there may have been a lot of clues, and in actual fact it's been quite a gradual process, but at the moment it feels very sudden and very raw. And this is about dealing with it, really. And it's quite often these things actually lead to better things, and it's the way we handle it. So it's going to be quite a difficult period for you, but I feel as though you can turn it into a positive. You know, go on to new relationships. But whenever we lose anything, whenever anything ends, it does feel very sudden. But it can lead to also open the door to new opportunities. We can have new relationships, new jobs, new places to live, new projects to start. But it feels very negative to you at the moment. That's all I'll say. I'm not saying it is negative. I'm just saying it feels very negative. And this next card is Compassion, and we've got an Aquamarine for this. And this is all about seeing the other side of the story, having compassion for the other person. And I think if you have had a sudden end to something, maybe a relationship, maybe a job, it's very easy to blame the other person. and this is saying that in actual fact they're hurting too. There's not all that's seen. I know with a job it's very difficult to see that, but if a company's on the verge of bankruptcy, or if something happens which we don't know about, it's easy to make judgments, but we don't always know the whole story. So this is all about having compassion. Don't judge too much, and don't go wading in with an argument and blame the other person completely. I'm not saying to blame yourself, but just see it from their point of view. Maybe you could have done things better. Maybe the situation at the moment has put undue stress on the company, the landlord, if they're selling their property and you're having to move, and also the end of relationships. I do pick up there's been a lot of undue stress that's not been in either of your control, and you need to just be compassionate with yourself and with the other person, or other people involved, depending on what situations this is. Obviously this is a general reading, so this won't resonate to all of you, but it will resonate to some of you. And this one is sort of more about getting back. It's all about being out of balance. Nature's cycles. It's all about, we have malachite, lovely green malachite for that. And it's all about getting back to nature and reconnecting to nature and getting back into balance, and trying to connect back into the cycles of things. So it's very easy. My camera's gone a bit crooked. I'll readjust it. Sorry, I knocked it. It's very easy to think that we are we're not connected to nature, and it's not as important. But just to walk out in nature, gardening and reconnecting to nature can really get us back on track mentally. I think this is representative of really all the stress you're feeling at the moment, and that you really need to take some time out for yourself and by yourself to try to reconnect, because I feel as though you've been putting a lot of time into other people, a lot of time into thinking about other people, maybe even blaming other people. And you need to do a bit of self-care and start reconnecting to yourself, and you can do this through nature. Malachite has got a lovely earth energy. A warning of using this, though, if you are in a very negative position, this does bring out our toxic emotions to the surface, just so that we can deal with them and work through them, but it can be a bit overwhelming. So I would probably steer clear of malachite if you're feeling really negative. If you're ever having a good day and you're trying to relax, it's a good one, because it does bring forth positive feelings and amplify them as well. But yeah, it can bring out the toxic in us as well. And this final one is communication, and we've got lapis, and this is saying that it's important to communicate, and there's something you need to communicate, and you need to be thinking about keeping lines of communication open even when you don't want to. And I wonder whether this is looking at the future. For instance, if you've left a job, there may be that they weren't in a position to keep you on, but they really did like you as a person and a worker, and they may pass on future job opportunities to you, for instance. It may be that you haven't communicated yourself properly, and this has led to some of these problems. Maybe in a breakup, you need to keep communications open. Maybe you've had a breakup relationship and you've still got children, you both parents of children, and stopping that communication would be very negative effect on them. So it's saying about keeping these communications open, and then eventually you'll find that you will start to understand, and it will go back to this compassion. You'll start to understand their point of view, and it will sort of balance out the situation a bit, because it feels very negative to you at the moment. So hopefully I won't be sorry if you tell me that this isn't true, because it's not the greatest of readings. So please do pop a comment though and let me know whether this resonates, and if it helps at all. As I say, if it doesn't resonate, then hopefully you're having a much better month than I predicted, and next few months. So if you do want to see any of these in the form of jewellery, please do pop over to my empoweredcrystals.com website and have a browse. And I really hope you have a wonderful day, and that don't get too stressed, and that I do see you another time. If you do like this, please do click the like and subscribe button, and if you hit the notification, you won't miss them in future. Thanks ever so much, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.